Lib Dem councillors quit en masse in a sexual harassment row. I'm going to read into this more from the Times, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the Times with the headline that Lib Dem councillors quit en masse in a sexual harassment row. 8 female councillors in Dacorum, Hertfordshire have resigned the whip, accusing officials of enabling toxic behaviour towards women. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share this across social media so others are notified of this video. I should point out I have seen this story in the... I believe it was the Telegraph as well. So this is not just from the Times. This is from 1 or 2 other outlets as well that I have seen as well. This is I don't obviously I've read some of this already, but we'll read into it together in a moment. But I'll just give my initial thoughts on that. I think this is extremely well, embarrassing is not the right word. I think this is abhorrent. Of if it is true, if there are sexual harassment claims here that the female councillors have had to endure, and that their complaints and their heeds and have been completely ignored in this matter. And I think Liberal Democrats need to really get in there and really investigate this and sort this out as quickly as possible. And perhaps this also questions the kind of Lib Dem members that they have within their party as well, the kind of vetting that they're doing on some of the people that they have, especially if there are people within the Liberal Democrats who think that it's perfectly all right or in any way, shape or form, which it isn't. It needs to be called out for it. This is not a very good look for the Liberal Democrats, shall we say. And especially considering what was a resounding, fantastic victory for them at the general election, and what, in my opinion, was a very good conference. I thought they had a very good conference as well, with all the things that they were saying there as well. This is a pretty dark thing, definitely, to have happened to them. So let's read more into this, you guys. So, 8 Liberal Democrat councillors in Hertfordshire have quit the party and accused officials of enabling sexual harassment, alleging that the internal committee overhaul a misconduct investigation into its former leader. So the councillors, who are all women, resigned the party whip at a live streaming meeting at Dacorum Borough Council on Wednesday night. The resignations mean the Lib Dems have lost the overall majority of the council, which was a totemic win for last year's local election. So that's really embarrassing. So they've lost overall majority as well because of this as well. So not only has those ignored the sexual harassment claims, but because they've ignored it, they've obviously the women and they feel this way, and rightfully so, have walked out in protest over this. Now the Liberal Democrats have lost majority on it. That's even more embarrassing for them. The party's leader, Sir Ed Davey, launched his 2023 local election campaign in Dagenham, driving a yellow tractor through a wall of painted blue haystacks. And in the surprising announcement, Claire Hobson, chairwoman of the Council's Strategic Planning and Environment Overview and Scrutiny Committee, accused the leader of the council and the Liberal Democrats group, Adrian England, of failing to deal with allegations of bullying and harassment, including sexual harassment. In all good conscience, I can no longer remain a member of the Liberal Democrat group, she said, adding, I'm not alone in my concerns about this and other issues. To a further staff and colleagues are tonight leaving the Liberal Democrats councillor group to sit as independent members. The monthly council meeting was thrown to chaos and had to be adjourned, given that several of the resigning councillors were cabinet portfolio holders and therefore were unable to give their update to the council. In July, the former leader of the party, Ron Tidal, was suspended from the Liberal Democrats following allegations of misconduct, pending investigation by both the council and the party. Tyndall also resigned from the cabinet, where he was portfolio holder for People and Transformation. Victoria Samala, Glenn Hobson were among councillors to resign the party whip. Adrian England, the leader of the council, has been approached for comment. At the time, he said he had been asked to stand down temporarily, but he was confident that he would be reinstated following the investigations. From what I know of the allegations, I deny them absolutely, he said. In July, an investigation commissioned by the council was carried out by Owen Brown, a consultant solicitor from the law firm Attorney Collins, a solicitor, which concluded that Tyrrell's actions constituted sexual harassment. However, a statement from the 8 councillors accused the Liberal Democrats group of rejecting the findings of this report. On September the 12th, a council subcommittee on standards comprising 3 Lib Dems and 1 Conservative dismissed the complaint against Tindall. Regarding 1 complaint, it concluded that the committee is not satisfied on the balance of probabilities that the alleged factual allegations occurred. The resigning councillors also alleged that England appointed Tyrrell on the council's cabinet and gave him oversight of the party's HR last year, despite already being informed of the misconduct complaints. Definitely something is amiss here. Their statement said, the women are standing down from the Liberal Democrats group to sit as independents because they cannot be associated with the Liberal Democrats group, which has enabled toxic behaviour towards women. The lack of effective response to safeguard women's colleagues that allowed the harassment to continue and foster a culture of enablement that put all women staff and elected councils at risk of similar behaviour. We don't know enough. We don't know enough information about this. Victoria Samantha, a former chair of the Liberal Democrats group on Dacorum Council, who also resigned the whip, said, I have been shocked to see the level of sexism within the Liberal Democrats, where I have rather naively assumed such behaviour would not be tolerated. Having tried for several months to try and improve the situation, I feel that the actions we have taken by becoming independent councillors is the only way we can take a stand in effective change. We do not have to gain anything politically from this, but we have to do what is right. If he is, obviously they are allegations, but there was an investigation. Obviously, they found there wasn't enough on it. In a statement, Tindall said, as far as I'm concerned, the whole matter about malicious allegations against me was dealt with by the Standards Committee and there was no case to answer and neither complaint was upheld. What disappoints me most about this whole business is the fact that these individuals, having been elected by Liberal Democrat voters, chose to follow personal ambitions and not support party objectives. The resignations last night actually showed the true nature of the intention of the individuals concerned, and their complaints can be dealt with in an appropriate way. So his position is that, yeah, he's been investigated and they found nothing wrong, and he's claiming that the women are being malicious against him. That's his argument. Spokesman for the Liberal Democrats said, we have been made aware of a number of councillors resigning from the Liberal Democrats group on Duncan's Borough Council. England has been approached for comment. At last year's local election, the Liberal Democrats gained 9 seats on the council, bringing a total to 28, while the Conservatives lost 13 following the resignation. Liberal Democrats now have only 20 councillors to 31 Conservative, Labour and independent members. I think now you have to also ask, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Like, are we going to take the word of Tindall in saying that he's been investigated and found to be completely fine and there's no case whatsoever, and that his position is that the 8 women that basically stepped away, who resigned, are basically all just out to get him? That's the implementation from his point of view? Or the investigation was not done properly, the harassments were not looked into properly, and that this man has been allowed to continue in his role, continue to play that he's perfectly innocent, and that these women who have been aware of these things, who have been complaining about these things, allegedly, have been ignored, and the only thing they can do left is basically to walk out in protest. That's the catch-22 situation here. And that, unfortunately, that's all I can give on it at the moment, because obviously there will be investigations, and obviously there's some things obviously that we don't know for certain, but it's a case of whether it's his side or the 8 female councillors who resigned, whether it's on the sides of this. I think that I generally, if I have to go with my gut feeling, I'm probably more on the side of the Lib Dem councillors quitting, because it would not. I don't see for them, because there has to be some serious evidence from them to say that this guy should not be anywhere near, and for them to quit en masse in that way does say something. It does say that there is something here, and that perhaps Ron Timmel, that not enough was investigated. And I think I think there should be another investigation, perhaps even if there's not, if the investigation, the original one, obviously was by Liberal Democrats, perhaps it should be done by non-Liberal Democrats. Should be more independent then, if the case, to know for certain. But yeah, I think it's very embarrassing for the Liberal Democrats, and I generally hope the party does respond to this, and responds to this quickly. If they are serious about any kind of sexual harassment whatsoever, they would have, I'm sure they would have gotten rid of Ron Tyndall straight away. But we will have to wait and see more on this, guys. I'll try and keep an eye on it as much as I can, but let me know what you guys honestly think about this story. Do you stand with the Lib Dem councillors quitting en masse in this sexual harassment row? Do you think Ron Tyndall has done nothing wrong, and that there's no evidence on his part on this? Or is there more to this than we possibly know? Let me know your thoughts about this story and more down in the comments section below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate. Shares across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing, because it really does help support the channel. If you want to go one step further, financially support me in the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.